7 o'clock straight up. I am Dave Gold, and you're not believable. Thursday Night Live is on a device near you, unless you're sitting at my desk. There are three devices that Boogie was rolled on tonight. We're live on the Dave Golden profile over here on Facebook, like we always are. Give me a minute to get the live chat rocking and rolling on the Dave Golden profile. There it is. All right, the Boogie Wooden Bull live chat on the Dave Wooden profile here on Facebook is open. The Boogie Wooden Bull live chat on the Boogie Wooden Bull YouTube channel is open. And if you're watching, or you follow at Boogie WT Bull, the Boogie Wooden Bull X account, you can watch there. There is no live chat. My recommendation, if you're on X and you're watching and you don't use Facebook, go to the Boogie Wooden Bull YouTube channel and jump into the live chat there. And one of these days, maybe we'll be live on X. We're still looking around at a whole lot of places, but we always tell you about that. So we don't need to talk about that tonight. It is very hot outside. Wherever you are, it is probably very, very, very hot. Come on into the live chat and tell me how crazy it is where you are. Right now in beautiful Fleming Island, Florida, it is 93 degrees outside. It feels like it's 96 degrees outside. Winds are blowing at 9 miles an hour from the southeast. And the low was 82, the high was 88, and we blew that high into oblivion. As I said, it is 93 degrees outside. Jane O'Malley is here. Finally, she got here on time. Just finished watching Ray Ray and Lucretia News. I hope everybody watched that broadcast. Lucretia News is a brilliantly smart lady. I have watched her in the 15 years that I've been here on Facebook, and a lady that does her best to report truth every day. And you should be watching her. Ray Ray, the host of the Patriots Lab Uncensored, is often here on Boogie with the Bull. And maybe he'll pop in later this evening before we wrap it up tonight. I'm not really sure. I do most of the talking when it's just me by myself. And I'm hoping that people in the live chat will tell me their opinion. I read again today on Google News, of all places, that apparently 24 of 27 or 21 of 24, I don't remember the exact number, of the judges in the New York State Appellate Court are guilty at one time or another or donated one time or another to Democrats. Only one of them, I believe, donated to a Republican because I believe he was appointed by Donald Trump. But I don't know. I don't know if he was actually on the bench or not. I guess New York state law says that you as a judge are not allowed to make donations in partisan politics. That it doesn't matter that your personal politics are Democrat or Republican, but you cannot donate to a Republican or a Democrat candidate. You're not allowed to do that. But then again, like every other law in New York, people march to their own drum and do whatever they think they can get away with. And that's what may be happening. So what does that tell me? That we're treading on dangerous ground and that we're not going to be able to find impartial we're not going to be able to find impartial judges on the appellate court, and we will probably force it up to the Supreme Court, who will force it back down to the appellate court, who will probably do the right thing. Does that mean that Justice Merchan will not get to see Donald Trump behind bars? Probably, because while the appeal is being heard, odds are he will be allowed to stay out of jail. I don't No, I assume there will not be a gag order because everybody else is talking about the case, so why shouldn't he be allowed to talk about the case? Ichabod Palmer is also in the Believable live chat. My mouth is just getting in the way of my teeth and my tongue. Ichabod, if you want to join the broadcast, give us an update on what's going on with you. I am more than happy to send you a link. Matter of fact, give me a moment and I will do it while I am right here. We interrupt this broadcast so that I can send my good friend Ichabod Palmer a link to the Believable broadcast. That doesn't necessarily mean that Ichabod Palmer will grace us with his presence, but if he's watching, it's usually people who come on. If they're in the live chat, they see him and I bring him on. They know they're more than welcome to come on. But as I was saying, it looks like we may have trouble finding a fair judge in the appellate court. I don't know if they find a new jury or if they use a grand jury in the appellate courts. I'm not that familiar with the law, and I don't know what will happen then. But you know as well as I do that most likely this thing is going to be bounced on appeal. Most likely, what will happen is President Trump will defeat any Democrat they put up against him. And if I was President Trump and I won the election and I was put through all the BS crap that he went through while he was
Hi, Dave.
president, and after he was no longer president, they were still bashing on him for 4 years like they would. I got to tell you, I would bend the Democrats over the table and I would write myself my own pardon, and I would pardon every single Republican involved, even
I know.
if a Republican worked at the FBI and they found evidence that was used against me. I would probably just pardon them. I would pardon the entire federal government. I would pardon the people in the House and the Senate who might impeach me as soon as I become president again, just because
You can.
this has been the greatest shit show. I'm sorry I used that.
It's right. You're right.
But this has been the greatest shit show in the history of people my age. I'm 62, as everybody knows, and this is he will be the president that when my 2.5-year-old grandson is 11 years old and in school like our grandson here, and Thomas's sister, who was just born, Sophia, was a month, when she's 11 years old in school. He is the president that people will be studying. Even if, God forbid, a Democrat wins the presidential election in 2024. I'm rambling, but I also don't see, when the Democrats meet and have their convention, I see one of two things happening. Joe Biden either walked in and said, I'm not going to run, leave me alone, I'm going to finish my term, and goes back and finishes his term. He's not going to step down as a candidate, resign as president, because that puts Kamala Harris in for, 4 months. And she's not going to be able to do anything in that period of time anyway, because we're going to keep the Republican House, we're going to take back the Republican Senate. So she's not going to be able to do anything while she is president, other than maybe pull down all of the Biden executive orders that she doesn't agree with and write new ones. So maybe we will finally secure the border. Maybe we will finish the Keystone XL pipeline. Maybe we will tell oil companies to start drilling and take care of our needs. What I don't think most people seem to understand is that when gas is plentiful, when the oil companies have taken gasoline, refined it, and they have 20 trillion gallons of gas sitting in storage
Right.
tanks around the country, and they're only selling 500,000 gallons a month. That means they got a lot of money sitting tied up in gas. So the price of gas is going to go down because if you drop the price of gas when you have a lot of gas, all of a sudden you're not going to have a lot of gas anymore.
Right.
Or we're making and fulfilling our needs. Hey, Jen, it is a pleasure to have you here. I don't know what you had in mind to bring up, but take a minute as I take a breath and let someone else talk.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm trying to
Okay.
find a link for this cup. I couldn't fill it. It's so heavy. It's a 15-ounce cup, but we were just going over this today with my son, and I thought it was so appropriate. Oh yes, I don't.
Jen Woodruff designed this cup. Jen designed the cup. Robert, Randy Riesenbeck designed the bowl
I
logo
love it.
for us. Jen designed the cup for us.
What is the one I'm supposed to do? Do that with the words to the top without uncensored.
Right. What I want to do is just drop I'll hold this up so you can see it. It says Boogie with the Bull Uncensored because that's the name. That was the name of the group of the broadcast.
Right.
When we launched the group here on Facebook, so we changed the name of the broadcast to the name of the group. We changed the name of the group, but all we're going to do is raise the Boogie with the Bull so it's up higher to the bull's ears, and I haven't decided if something's going to go under the Boogie with the Bull. But that's on the ceramic mug. The only reason I say it, and I say it every time, the only reason we have a ceramic mug is because I wanted one. I'm probably the only person in the morning that would drink coffee out of a ceramic mug if I could. I can't do that now anymore because my desk and my electronics on the desk drink more coffee than I do in the morning.
Oh wow. So, that's funny. Yeah, I have to look where that is located because we have this one too. And I redesigned this today with better writing. Okay, it says it's We the People, it's a distressed flag, and then on the other side, and it's really cool now because this is an older one. The writing is like in it's like in old times. It says, making the world a better place since July 4th, 1776.
Cool.
And so I'm just trying to find the link to those. I believe.
How do they, if they want that mug? Actually, we'll post a picture of it in the groups. And, and everybody can see it. If they want that, do they just contact you and say they want one, or?
No, it's on eBay. Hold on, I'm looking for. Yes, that yours is too. Yours is on eBay. The only thing is, I think they're smaller ones. Let's see. I'm getting that right.
This is a. I can tell you.
15 ounce.
This is a 15.
They're heavy.
Yeah, this one is a 15. Yeah.
Wow.
I have some 20 ounce that if we ever are able to make them, I have a couple of 20 ounce white ceramic mugs that I'll put out at some point. But I don't think we're going to deal. I don't think we're going to deal with a ceramic mug. I think we're going to move right to a travel mug.
Right. Yeah. There's yours.
The hot cold travel mug, because that seems really to be what everybody wants. Nobody wants a ceramic mug full of coffee in their car when they're driving, especially when the Tesla in front of you all of a sudden loses its charge and you have to hit your brakes to keep from hitting the Tesla, and you get coffee all over the place.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Let's not. This is like the only day I was so frustrated. I was telling Jesse I'll do dinner. I did do dinner, but I didn't get to post my mug, and I was like, "This is the last day.
No.
This is the last day." Okay. I mean, until the next holiday, no one's gonna want to buy that mug until July 4th. I can do it on July 4th. Okay, we'll just wait till July 4th to bring it up again.
We'll take advance orders. We'll get it. I'll get Jen to send me a picture of the front and the back of the cup, and I'll make sure that we get it posted.
You're awesome.
In every conservative, patriot, MAGA, whatever group on
Hi,
Facebook
David.
and everywhere else that we can do it. Good evening, Dr. David Novar, computer technician. If you are looking for assistance from a guy who knows what he is doing, and he's
Go
one
to
of the
David.
old-fashioned guys. He will help you. He'll consult with you and talk you through the issues that you're having. He
Oh,
will
that's nice.
he will also uh, he will he will order for you exactly what you need and have it sent to you. You pay him uh, for the parts, of course, and then he will call you. And even if you have no experience, he will talk you through how to open up your
Awesome.
computer and tell you exactly how to put in or how to take out whatever's bad and put in whatever is good. And if you trust
Awesome.
him, like I know people on Facebook have, and I won't name anybody because I'm just not going to name anybody, but there's a couple of different programs. One's called PC Anywhere, one's called PC Remote, and a qualified IT professional can take over your computer. And a lot of times, if it's just bad software issues, he can work you right through it. So don't be scared when I say he may need to access your computer. I trust him. I trust him. Randy Rhodes trusts him. A few other people that I
Oh,
know
is he the guy that
are
fixed
using
Randy
him.
Rhodes? Yeah, Randy had a
Yes,
bad Oh, he's
right.
awesome.
He did.
Yeah.
Right. He's like I said. I talked to him uh, more times a day about what I should do as opposed to what I am going to do. This, that, and the other stuff. But he's a really good guy. David, it's a pleasure to have you here. William Grant, I see that you are here, and William, you are now one broadcast ahead of Danny Campbell until Danny Campbell shows up.
Oh
Okay,
no.
I'm going to put this up on the screen. You cannot, David will not order what you need. David will tell you what you need. He will help you find the lowest price place to get it. Because I know, I tell him what I'm looking for, and he sends me the best prices on Amazon.
He's not Santa Claus.
Then you, then uh, if you follow his advice, I do know that he will be on the phone with you and talk you through how to get out the bad
Awesome.
stuff, put in the good stuff, and stuff like that. But no, and it's not Christmas in June, and he will not
He
buy the
did.
parts.
It's an
He will not buy
operator,
the
right?
parts for you.
That's
Uh,
okay.
he will not buy the parts for you. And if you hear that he's buying parts for anybody, it's only because we have an arrangement that I will give him the sponsorship announcements in exchange for charging him like I do everybody else. But
Nice.
anyway, that's neither here nor there. David is here. Jane O'Malley is here. Jane said, hello, Patriots, and nice mug,
Okay.
Jen. And
He
did
saw
I
my
miss
she
anybody?
saw my mug. Thank you.
Did I miss anybody? No, I think I got everybody. So as we go along, we'll just go along. So what is new and exciting?
Uh, we're
What is
going
new
on
and exciting?
vacation. We're going on vacation. We're getting ready to go to Florida. So we've
You're
been
coming to
shopping.
Florida?
Yes, I am. That'll be fun. We all are, our family. We're staying at my sister-in-law's house. She has a couple of rentals down there, and so she's giving us to us for free. And I thought that
In
would be fun. If it's
in
free, it's
in
for me.
in where in Florida? If you can say it, if you don't want to say it, don't. But
I don't it's Cape Coral,
Cape Coral. That's very close to Bill Buckler, I
I
believe.
believe. Oh wow. Oh cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. You might,
That's exciting.
you know.
Oh,
I
maybe I can
I will
buy a
confirm.
copy
I will
of
confirm it on. I will confirm it on Friday, and
yeah.
if
I
it
would
is,
love to buy
maybe
a copy
you
of
can actually meet in person. That would be really
6.
cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be very cool. Okay, David says he is a technician. He is not a magician. So your
Same
results,
thing. If you can
your
fix a
results may
computer.
vary, and we don't warranty anything that anybody does. We just tell you what they do, and and how they do it. So, and
Right.
if you want your business or whatever mentioned, talk to me in message on Messenger, and we'll work something out. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not looking to get your money to promote your stuff on Boogie with Bull. I'm more interested in you sponsoring Boogie with the Bull and maybe donating some stuff of what you do that we can give away so that more people will go to your business on Facebook and more people will watch Boogie with the Bull.
Awesome.
Okay.
I was interested in the Supreme Court decision. Did we
Yep.
hear the Supreme Court say anything about Trump's case with exonerating, not exonerating, he will be exonerated. My God, he has to be, about a president being you can't press charges against a president. That's terrible. Hopefully
Right.
he's saying that they have presidential immunity. That's what it's about, presidential
Right.
immunity. If they say, yes, you have presidential immunity, everyone who's a president has presidential immunity. Otherwise, they've got a hand tied behind their back the whole time they're serving their country, because everything they do, they're scared to death they're going to get tried in court and put away for life. Look at
Yep.
what Truman, dear God, he stopped
And,
World War II by bombing Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
yep.
And can you
And
imagine if he was charged with war crimes? Of course he would. He'd be put away forever. Well, or else.
well, Bill Buckler brought it to my attention last Friday that evidently the maximum sentence is 4 years on each of the 34 counts. If he was found guilty on all 34 counts, so if he is
It's only
given 4
120.
years, that's 136 years in
Man.
prison. And I don't think if you go into prison in your mid 70s, you're going to survive a 136-year sentence. But, you know, all of this, I think, is for dramatic effect. You know, I don't know what Judge Merchan is trying to prove. I don't know what the jury was trying to prove. Uh, they obviously found a hostile DA, a hostile attorney general, in a hostile city that I don't understand why they're hostile to Trump, because he is New York City, he is Manhattan.
I
You
know.
know,
I heard they arrested 3 of the jurors too. I don't know why. They
I
lied.
I read I read it, but I didn't see. I read it. I saw it on a post. I clicked on it, and it didn't say what they were arrested for. So if anyone does know, throw it into the live chat and and uh, and enlighten me. It was a slow brain day, so I spent most of my time watching reels on Facebook today, and it was interesting because most of the reels that got sent to me to watch were all classical music, which I happen to like anyway. So it was
Yeah, it's
relaxing
just
watching.
great.
Put my headphones on and kind of zoned out and watch a lot of that. Normally, I get, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 Queen Elizabeth reels every day. Then I get some
I
Queen Anne, I get some Princess Anne reels because
okay.
everybody seems to think that she is bothered that she either didn't become the queen or may never become the queen.
Okay.
I personally, I don't think it bothers her because her husband is not royal bloodline. So she asked Elizabeth, her mother, not to give her son and daughter royal titles. So they're not heirs to the throne at all. They're members of the royal family. They are princes and princesses, but they're not bloodline to the throne. If she all of a sudden
Okay.
became, if Elizabeth, I mean, if Anne all of a sudden became queen, her children, her son and daughter cannot become king or queen.
Oh,
But I wouldn't want it anyway. I keep saying every time it comes up, you know, I kind of would want to be like Harry and go through life understanding that the odds are I'm probably never going to get it, but I can enjoy being a prince for my entire life and live very well and get paid a good salary to basically sit around and do nothing. Uh,
Right.
I wonder though, and I've said it before, but I wonder if William were to become king, if William might go to the House of Parliament and say, "I'm sorry, guys, but we're gonna we're gonna take we're gonna take back. I'm taking back control of the country," because I thought that's what Charles was gonna do. He was just
Right.
gonna say, "No, no, we're going back to me being king and us."
How is his how is William's wife doing, Kate?
I
Now
don't
that
know.
she's been diagnosed with cancer, and I always see on like the reels when it you
Yep,
see on Facebook, there's everyone and they always put up three things. I put up a food, a dog that makes me happy, and usually a
yep.
scripture verse. Well, then there's these really wacky ones with these like enormous heavy set people. And then you see these ones on guess who died? And then you have to scroll up and it's
I
like,
hate,
oh, those
I
are
hate,
scary.
I hate people. And I've said this before. People who post stories every day and they post those. Look who died today,
Sick. I know.
because it's just sick. It's just
Right,
it's just sick. I
right.
mean,
Well, it said something about Kate. There was another one about Kate, and it says, "You thought it was bad. Well, it just got worse." And you have to scroll up. All it is clickbait. They
yeah,
want you to scroll up and see all these ads, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'll ask Dave, "What happened to Kate?" But I guess she's still kicking, so that's good.
I
It's
guess
just so
Jane
sad.
says that she was not in Normandy today with William, I assume, or
Oh,
Charles if he was there, or both of them. But
wow.
I'm hearing different stories that Charles' cancer may be worse than he is letting people know, and it's getting leaked that it's worse than it is. And the reason that they sent him home from the hospital was because they just couldn't treat him anymore, and they wanted him to go out and enjoy the rest of the time that he had left. And probably the shortest time on the throne of any king
Wow.
in uh, in the history of the Commonwealth.
That's sad.
It is it is very sad. It's very sad. I was talking with another friend of mine today who is going to have a biopsy done, but his doctors are pretty sure that it is cancer. How bad? I don't think anybody knows yet. But and I cringe every time I hear the C
Ugh,
word because of
I know.
my
I
dad.
hate it. I know.
My dad. Well, I don't know who to get angry at. Uh, my dad had testicular cancer, and he survived it. It evidently came back, and there were issues, and he didn't say anything to my mother. He waited a year, and my mother happened to find out accidentally, I guess, how I don't know. And unfortunately, at that point, it was stage 4, and he understood. When he goes, that's what he's going from. So um, I don't.
Do people really die from cancer or do they die from the treatments?
No, no,
Because
no, no, no,
that's
no, 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 no. My father died because the cancer got into his spine, got
oh
into his,
gosh.
went up into his brain. It was all over his body. He had another issue not related to cancer, but he didn't understand the amount of pain that his body was in.
Oh
So
god.
he actually may not have known. I mean, if he was, you know, he might not have felt when the cancer came back how bad it was. Unfortunately, you know, uh, they couldn't have saved him when when they when they diagnosed him with stage 4 cancer. It was too late. There was
I'm so
nothing.
sorry.
They could have made his life pleasant. He spent he spent about a year going in and out of rehab, and then he spent I think 2 years in a nursing home, and the final year was in a hospice wing. And it is what it is. I'm more angry at people like Dr. Fucky because they and other uh, uh, reps of big pharma insist that they have a cure for cancer, and the only reason I know they won't put it out is because it's not that say it would cost you $100,000 to be cured of cancer. It's they make more money off of you by selling you chemotherapy and
Chemo, radiation,
anything
radiation.
else that enhances your still being here until
Go.
you pass away. And I don't want to hear that anymore because lately, like I said, more people I know are all of a sudden just getting hit with cancer. And there's people that they
Right.
don't they all lived healthy lives. They weren't crazy people, and you know, uh, and I keep seeing videos of Dr. Fauci back at the House, back at the Senate, and I wish that they would just stop stop bringing the man in and trying to get him to answer what he did because he's not going to do it. He spent more time in this last video that I watched arguing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who kept calling him Mr. Fauci because she doesn't recognize him as a doctor.
And that's okay. He's a
It
scientist.
actually is okay because a Republican and a Democrat both asked the chair for a point of order. The the Republican said there is a rule on how representatives and senators, when they're talking with each other, have to refer to each other. If a representative or senator is a doctor, you don't call him Senator whoever, Representative whoever. You call him Doctor whoever or her Doctor whoever. But when I think it was Comey, the chair of the committee, finally said that is only when we are talking amongst ourselves. A representative has the right to address anybody however they personally feel, and she doesn't believe that he's a doctor. She believes he should lose his license and he should be in prison. Uh, but that to me, giving him the few hours that he was there to testify, knowing that he's not going to tell them what they want, he's not going to tell Republicans what they want to hear, and he's not going to sell out the Democrats that got him all the way up into the National Institute of Health. So to me, the thing is, yes, we know what he did, we know how he did it, we know when he did it. Her big thing was that she quoted something that doesn't allow government employees to profit off of things related to their jobs. Like he can't have a patent. He couldn't patent diseases
Wow.
as a
That's good.
doctor at the NIH. He couldn't do that.
I
He
made
could
a meme of him.
he could discover it. He could discover it like he may have, but he can't patent it and say it's the Fauci disease. I own it.
We have pictures of him in the 60s at a lab. What was the big disease in the 60s? I
I
know in
don't.
the 80s it was AIDS. It was the AIDS
It might have been.
epidemic. Oh,
I
go
don't.
ahead.
I don't know.
60s. Was
I don't.
there
I
a
don't. I don't
was there a
remember.
weird flu or
Not. Not that I.
That's crazy. Well, we have him.
But
We have
yeah,
pictures of him all the way back to the 60s. And
well,
every time there's a major pandemic, he's involved.
yeah,
Even with the COVID-19, when he threw before it started and he threw the baseball at the World Series, you read the back of his jersey and it says something 19. It was
yeah,
crazy. He's always involved and he's sick. He is Dr. Death. It's terrible.
you know,
I'm glad that they're
and,
proving him
you
for
know,
what he really is.
I just think it's time that go with what they have, and if they have enough to prove that he committed some crimes, then you punish him accordingly for what he did. But it's
Oh,
really
that's
time to move on past all of that and sit down and get us from where we are to where we need to be. You know, Warren Buffett has a great idea. Anytime inflation is over 3%, we stop paying Congress until they get it under 3%.
oh, that's good.
And
That's
when you're
wise.
making $174,000 a year base pay, you know, that's a couple $1,000 a month that
Right.
you may not get until you guys get your act together and get inflation under 3%. Plus, we really shouldn't have inflation because the only reason we have inflation is that we have this thing called the Fed, and the Fed, someone pointed it out to me on another social media network, but it's really true. We're only paying income taxes to the government so that the government can pay back, well, they're paying the interest off, they're not touching the principal, so that the government can pay back these wealthy bankers that they borrowed money from throughout the years. We need to just say, no, the Fed, you're done. Goodbye, sayonara, go bankrupt, do whatever you want, but 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 go away. The IRS should be the same reason. The IRS really is only charged with collecting income tax so that they can pay the Fed.
Wow. It's
So
sick.
we, and and people say to me, I'll say in some conversations, hey, I live in a state, Florida. We don't have a state income tax. There are other states in the union that don't charge income tax. And if all of them can do it and still operate their states by other taxes that they collect or whatever, then why can't the federal government do it?
Right.
Biden says, you know, your taxes aren't going to increase if you make less than $400,000. He says only the people that make more than $400,000 are going to get a tax increase. No, they aren't, because everyone who makes over $400,000 a year has some certified public accountant working on their taxes to make sure they don't pay anything.
I hate when they say that. Even Alexandria Cortez, AOC, Agent
Yep,
of Chaos. Yeah, the
agent of
back
chaos,
of her at the back of
agent of
her
corruption.
yeah, the back of her white dress had like this red spray
Yeah,
paint on it that said
yeah.
tax the rich. No, they already get taxed enough. We
There were
pay 6% to the dollar
there
here
there.
in Idaho. So they're still
Yeah,
getting taxed.
yeah. No, I don't understand her. I hope she gets voted out if she's up for
Right.
re-election. She probably won't. Uh, I hope New York flips red, but I doubt they will. I mean, maybe they will in this election. You know,
Right.
they'll flip in this election and they will help bring Trump back. But in 2028, who knows?
They say wherever Michigan goes, the nation follows. So hopefully Michigan flips red. They can't stand their governor. She's the worst they've ever
Yep,
had. And if they flip red, which they may, he always does rallies over there specifically
yep,
because they're the motor city and nobody wants these electric vehicles. So
yep.
hopefully, I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Jane. It
Measles, mumps,
was
and I should
MMR.
know of rubella because I got the vaccine in. I was born in '62. I don't remember if my mom said it. I said I got the German measles vaccine got the measles vaccine in '62 when I was born, or got it in '63, but I came down with it in '64. And yeah, Jane O'Malley is a smart person. That's why she watches Boogie with the Book, because if I can't remember something or need help, Jane is always
That's
there with
why.
the answer. Appreciate you being here, Jane. And what else? I hope everybody did watch William Rayfield with Lucretia Hughes.
His
That
sister
I'm
with the
sure it.
yeah.
I'm sure it was an awesome broadcast. I have it on my list of things to watch either later tonight or uh, sometime tomorrow when I come up for air. Uh, but as I said, I was listening to a lot of classical music today that actually helped for a bit. It is wickedly hot outside, so people, if you're going outside uh, this week or have been outside this week, make sure you're treating yourself accordingly. Stay hydrated, sunblock, whatever you need. Just don't stay out for long periods of time. And think about your animals too. If you keep your animals outside during this time of year, you know, uh, bring them inside if you can, or find shade
Yeah.
for them and
Or give him a
leave them in
haircut.
shade. Make sure they are hydrated as well. Uh, and help everybody that you can. That's about all I can say. What else is there, Jen?
I don't know. I think the weather's going to be crazy next week. The whole time we go on vacation, it's supposed to rain. It starts the 11th all the way
Yeah,
until the 23rd. I'm like, oh
that's
my
our
God,
that's our that is
rainy season.
our rainy season. And I used to joke in the morning and say there is a 4 p.m. percent chance of rain because every day at 4 o'clock, like clockwork, the sky would cloud up and it would just
Down.
downpour, and then 15 minutes later it would stop. The sun would come out, everything was dry, and it looked like
So it
it
never
never rained.
happened.
Right, it looked like it never happened. I
Right.
always wondered if maybe they were seeding the clouds to get water out of them. Where I grew up in
They
California, there was no really real rain season, so a lot of times when the clouds were over us, they would seed them to get whatever rain they could get
we
out of them.
went with my parents, my brother and I went to Disney World in 1983, and it did that every day. In the
Oh,
afternoon, it just downpoured, and they were selling these like ponchos. We each had these like plastic garbage bag things to wear in Disney World because it would just dump. Like what you were saying, it was like tsunami, but thank God it wasn't like blowing people in cars. It was
yeah.
just downpouring. It's crazy. Do you think they were seeding the clouds then?
They were seeding clouds then, but it wasn't a negative thing of like chemtrails in the sky and
Oh,
things being shot up into the sky that when it comes down they could possibly kill us or hurt us. No, they were shooting whatever they could into the clouds to make them rain and just getting the rain out to make sure that we had enough water as often
right.
as they needed to do it. The scariest thing was we had real bad fruit flies. Uh, one year, I don't remember the exact year, and every other night, helicopters would fly over and spray malathion, which kills the fruit flies.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was riding a bike to work and riding my bike home at night. I don't know if I had a driver's license then or whatever. Or maybe I was just riding a bike because I like to ride a bike. But I forgot one night and all of a sudden, you can see the helicopters come flying over,
Oh,
and I'm like,
you needed a poncho.
no, no. I mean, I managed to find enough places
Oh,
to
good.
to to be covered while they were going over,
Spring.
but I didn't. I ended up driving from that point on. I just wasn't going to do it. Wasn't going to do it at night. But I got everything in me. I got malathion in me. I got bipolar meds in me. I got dementia meds in me. I probably own stock in every major pharmaceutical company in the United States,
They,
or the generic manufacturers over in India. Uh,
I'm sorry.
I found there is a pharmaceutical company in India, and it is Glovan Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, how funny.
If you look it up on the internet, you will find it. And
Everything that you're infected with.
from what I've read,
Really?
they are a big generic manufacturer.
That's awesome.
But it's pretty funny. Sometimes if you put your name, if you just type your name into it, you might be amazed with what you will find. Uh, and to the people that go onto Google and type Dave Glovan, and they see freelance writer mainly for Bloomberg Business News. That is not me. It's my cousin. And the last time he got mistaken for me was back when I was in college. We were at the California College Republican State Convention, and all had a great time. And when we got back, uh, it turns out my cousin David had written an op-ed that ran in, I think, the November issue of Penthouse magazine that year. So all of my friends who were reading, who were looking at the pictures of the article, uh, were contacting him because he put his email address on it, and he was not impressed at all.
You have a cousin named David?
I have a cousin named Dave Glovan. I think I actually have 3 that I know of, and we're all. I don't know how David, the Bloomberg writer, is related to me. The one David that I know is related because his father Norman was my grandfather Harry's cousin. So that's how we're all related.
I see. That's it reminds me of do you remember they don't have good shows like this at all anymore. But the Bob Newhart show,
Yeah.
where the guy would come in, he'd say, "Hi, my name's Larry. This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother, Daryl." Yeah, that was funny. It reminds me of you.
Daryl
Hi, my
Rector's
name's
going to
Dave.
probably do that when he starts his show on Rumble. It's probably going to be in the same way. His co-host is going to be Larry from Canada, and it'll be hi, I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl, the host, and this is Daryl's other brother Daryl. He's a host.
Oh, that's funny.
Or you remember the night when Robert Lawless came on dressed as Jerry Michaels on the American Rebellion? I wasn't on that night, but I was watching it, and man, I was.
Oh,
laughing.
that was funny.
I
Good
was
show.
laughing so hard.
Right.
It's made me think that every year around Halloween, I've always thought that we all should have dressed as Jerry. Even you should have dressed as Jerry and come on.
With the beard.
Got onto the American Rebellion. For those of you who are on Facebook and used to watch the American Rebellion, you have 2 choices. You can go to their Rumble channel and watch them over there, or you can go to Winkin, WINKIN, and watch them over there. I don't believe Jerry is posting it here on Facebook. I don't know if anybody else is posting it over on Facebook, but that's where you can watch it. That's where you can watch it. So go over there and comment and watch him and like it and enjoy the broadcast. I do most of the time. But what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I keep looking down at the clock, and then
Yeah.
we'll talk through stuff, and I look down at the clock again.
And it only changed 1 minute. It happens
We
every.
we will probably not live stream directly to Winkin. And the only
Okay.
reason that we will not live stream directly is that there are three options. One is $10 a month for 30 minutes of unlimited live streaming. That's 30 minutes max. It's $15 for 1 hour, and then it jumps to $99 a month for up to 3 hours. And the problem with only getting 60 minutes is that Tuesday and Thursday would lose a half an hour on Winkin. Uh, so we will probably go with Rumble and then just live share it to Winkin if people want to watch it over there. I don't really know. Or else we'll just stay on Facebook because our by any stretch of the imagination, as far as Facebook is concerned, with broadcasts on Facebook Watch, we are not anywhere near the numbers that Facebook will actually respect you for
They
having.
respect somebody?
Well, I don't know. You have to have 50,000 people watch
Oh,
180,000 hours, and if you do that, then you get pennies from heaven like you do on YouTube.
oh boy.
And we're not there. Let me try to see if I can do this really fast. We have 24 people watching right now, but the way they change it is it will probably actually let me do this. Go out there, come back in, and sometimes by refreshing my page. No, it's still 24. But lately we've been in the morning we've been getting 100 to 150 live watching, and then it goes up to 400, 500 sometimes in total views. At night, it's always more. Today, it's going to be dead, I'm sure, because people are out sitting in front of their fans or air conditioning and not watching. And you know,
Do you think that harp?
that happens. Every day cannot be a 50,000 view boogie with the bull. I'd love it to be, but it really can't be.
Do you think that harp is adjusting the weather? Like right now? I've heard that
That
they're doing
who?
something weird. HARP, HARP, isn't that they see the clouds and they even said that
I
that could be the group that is responsible for that lunar eclipse we had. They said that's not the moon. I thought, come on. Now, what they have said, and this is crazy because I love sunflowers, but the sunflowers are actually shunning the sun. They've always like faced up and be like they like track the sun
yeah.
across the sky from like what from when it rises to when it sets, and now they're not. Some of them are. They're like manic depressive sunflowers. It's so crazy. Some of them are looking at the sun, they're all happy and radiant, then the other ones that like are shunning the sun, so they're calling them
Yeah.
shunflowers. And that's
Sunflower.
scary. They are doing scary stuff. Well,
Scary stuff.
I haven't noticed that in Idaho, but look at the sunflowers. Next time you see a sunflower, make sure that the faces are facing the sun. And if they're not, it's weird because they did say they want to shade the sun. Remember when they were saying that? They could have done that. They could in some areas. I don't know. It's terrifying. I know Jane. Love her. She knows it is harp. Thank
She's
you.
our boogie. She's our boogie with the bull fact checker.
Oh, she's the oh, she's awesome. Yeah, please don't tell me I'm doing something wrong.
No,
And
no, no,
Mandy,
no, 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 no,
that
no. I
is
mean,
so crazy. Yeah. Oh, you got to hear
I'm
the
not.
funniest. Yeah.
I'm not worried about doing anything wrong on Facebook because I've been on Facebook for 15 years, and I have spent most of it at one time or another in Facebook jail.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Their newest one is if I if I post a new member welcome in any one of our groups, just for posting that, I get a 6-day suspension. If I go down into the comments and add a welcome, that's another 6 days. And
My
the way
gosh.
Facebook designed the penalty system, you can only be in Facebook jail for one thing at a time. You can stack more things. So it's like if you get a 6 day suspension for doing something, and during the 6 days you do something else, and it tells you you've earned another 6 days. The
Right.
way the way they designed it was that as soon as that 6 days that you're serving is over, they could slap you. They slap you with the 6 days that you had waiting. It's weird. I mean, the whole system was designed to be against us anyway. But if if not if when Trump is inaugurated in January of 2025, I think the world's going to change for Facebook. I do.
Wow.
I do. I really,
It
and
has
they're
to.
not going to like it.
Wow.
They're not. They're
Sorry,
not.
I'm distracted. I was looking at something else.
They're not.
Um,
They're not going to like it. And they
okay, so
must
this is
listen
a
to me. I mean, they must not watch Unbelievable broadcast because
I know. What
I
are they
talk
thinking?
about them five times a week, and I'm still
All the
here.
cool people do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my husband has this website. He has this whole group. It's called the Southwest Idaho Kokanee Fisherman Group. Okay, so he has this merchandise, and so they designed these shirts and cups and things. And the latest shirt he designed says "Smoke the Coke." Because it has a picture of a smoker because he marinates the fish like and then oh it's so good then he smokes them and so he's got this picture of a smoker and a grill, and it's got the two kokanees on, and they're spelled Koke, not like cocaine. But anyways, I don't understand how all of these groups are related. But it's like Facebook put them on a ban, and so did eBay. eBay
Yeah.
took down his thing because it says "smoke the coke," and I'm like, the
Yeah.
president's son can do it,
I've
and we didn't even spell it right.
I've
So
learned that you have to be very careful about what you talk about with Coke. Because one time I said Coke is best through a freshly pressed $100 bill, and
oh god.
and the program director of the station that I ultimately got fired from came in and said, "You can't say that on the air." And I said, "Of course I can." And he said, "No, you're telling people that you do drugs." I said, "No, I'm not John McCloud." I said, "I'm telling people I earn a $100 bill, roll it up, and use it as a straw and drink your
Oh
Coke
my
through
god,
it."
that's so dirty, right? Do you know how many people touch money? It is really dirty. I didn't realize how
My
dirty it was. Think yeah, but
my grandfather, for the longest time,
yeah,
each week when he took money out of the bank to have cash in his wallet, always requested the newest freshly
minted.
non-wrinkled bills. And then
Oh,
my mother
nice.
said, because he never had a wrinkled bill in his wallet, he never gave any of us a wrinkled dollar bill, you know.
It's nice.
And I said, "What's his secret?" She said, he washes it, dries it, and irons it.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
guys are Jewish. We got quarters and Hershey bars. A little Hershey. Our grandparents didn't get us dollar. Yeah. Change. That's funny.
My change jar.
That's cool. What is it with pocket change? My sons are like, "I don't want the change." He, like, will
I
do any he'll give me the change. I'm like, "I'll take that," because it's
I don't
ridiculous.
I
They
don't get it much anymore because I very rarely have cash in my wallet.
right? You use a card.
Well, I lived on a debit card for a million years. You know,
Right.
credit cards, that's a different thing. They're even more confusing than living on a debit card. Uh, because
Right,
you
I'm
have to
not a
pay it. Well, you have to pay it back, and then you realize that when you start paying it back, you can't just pay it all off because you got more than one, and you got to share my wealth. You know,
with the other cards. Yeah, I'm not against digital currency. Digital currency is great. It's cleaner. It's just a card. It's your currency. It's just a numbers.
it's
I am against the central bank. That
well,
is sick.
yeah, they
What?
wanted to control us, and I think that's why it didn't pass the House
Thank
because
God.
the House was very clear that no, you cannot do this. You cannot, if Dave Bowden says the Fed, like, you don't like that, you can't take money away from him.
Right.
And if they do, the odds are I'm going to sue them. The Supreme Court is going to agree with me that they were wrong, and I'm going to end up owning the Fed, which I don't want to do anyway. I
No,
don't
I
want to own.
wanted to put up a post, but I'm so scared. I'm very cautious of damaging the group. I don't want
Oh,
to
please,
get I
please.
will not damage the group.
I have told every admin in in every group that I've ever had, if Facebook wants to shut us down, they will find a reason to shut us down. If they don't like how I am running a group or how an admin is running a group or doing things in the group, they will pull that admin. They've had for at least 6 months now that Red Patriot Forces for America is scheduled to be shut down. They had nothing to shut us down on. I actually, unfortunately, it was an AI that I talked to, but it was an AI at Facebook because you can't talk to a human at Facebook. You can't call and talk to a human on Facebook. You can go
Wow.
to certain places online and you can talk to AIs that work at Facebook. And they explained to me that Facebook doesn't have a right to take anything down. They don't. They know they can and they do it just because they think that they know they're going to get away with it. Again, social media is being regulated by the people who have the regulatory authority, the Federal Communications Commission, armed with the Communications Decency Act of 1996, Section 230, which covers the internet and how we use the internet. There are only two ways to use the internet. One is a website that is private. You control who gets on it, what they can do on it, and what they can't do on it. The other is a public forum. Facebook is a public forum. They're not a publisher. They're a public forum. So
Oh,
realistically, they can't do most of what they do. When social media reform comes, and it may come in the second Trump administration, uh, uh, it will change the way Facebook operates. But you know what? It's not even worth worrying about it anymore. I mean, I log on to Facebook every morning just to see if I still have my
right.
account. So
Well,
if they
it's just
take,
just to see if you have your account. But okay, so this is the post that I wanted to post, but I will not post it because I'm scared to death that it's a
why?
bad thing. Okay, so I
Why?
won't. But because we'll get in trouble. Maybe I'll just do it. But
Just put it up. I mean, worst comes to worst, if you're an admin of that group, they'll take action against you. They'll take the post down, and if it's really bad, they may remove you from the group, and they'll block you from the group, so you
I'll
won't
do
even
it right
see the
before we go
you
on vacation.
you won't even see the group anymore.
It
Uh,
okay, basically, okay,
I'm
this
not
is
I'm not worried about losing a group to Facebook. I'll be more honest with you. I, well, eventually, I'm going to lose a group. Somewhere in the 15 years that I've been on, I'm due to have groups taken away from me, not stolen. That's a completely different story. But have a group shut down by Facebook, and it doesn't bother me. The bigger issue would be if Facebook cut my link to StreamYard and I couldn't live stream onto Facebook, then I would get upset. And I have a backup plan if that happens. We'll go to Rumble. We'll stay on YouTube as long as we can stay on YouTube. We'll look at Twitter. We'll look at Rumble. So we're not going away. Uh, if Facebook removed me as an admin from all of my groups and all of the groups that I'm an admin in, and I don't even know how many there are. I get invites to groups, and I go and I look in the group, and I'm an admin.
I know. I get kicked out of. I lose my adminship of more groups than I know I'm even
I I
responsible
get
for.
I get removed from more groups that invite me to be an admin of their group
Then I'm an
than
admin.
anybody else because I go in there and I do. It's like I ask people. I took a look at your group. You need to vet. You need to vet all of the members in your group. Get rid of the troublemakers. You need to look at all the admins in your group. Get rid of the troublemakers. You need to find moderators for your group. And I start doing all of that, and then they remove me because I'm doing stuff that an admin is
They
supposed
should
to
be
do.
doing it and they're not. Well, okay, so you have to help me. We have to come up with 10 families, okay? 10 families. This is what the meme is that I was going to post.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's more of an article. And the whole point of this is once we realize how many more of us there are than them, because there's what, how many patriots? They're saying 8 million, okay, in America. They're saying when we realize there's 8 million of us and being controlled by these 10 families will rise up and say, no more, and we won't comply. Well, I can only think of one family right now. There's another one. Who's the oil diggers? Okay, the Rothschilds, and there's another R. Who are the oils? Who are they? The oil people?
Hold on
Are
a
we
minute.
allowed to say that?
No, I'm looking at.
We're getting
I'm
hate
looking.
mail. I shouldn't have
No, we're
said
not
it.
getting hate mail.
I'm
We're
sorry.
getting one of those people that comes on and begs for money, and
Oh no.
I'm about to block them from. It's one person with a bunch of accounts that puts up a cash app that
All I have is quesadillas. Would you like a taco? Because that's all I have to offer today.
no.
But what are the
Okay.
10 families? It says it's 8 million, 6 million. How many did I say? 10. All of these
Yep.
million people in America were being controlled by the whole world's being controlled by these 10
Right.
families.
The
We know
Fed.
the Rothschilds. They're the ones they even started the whole school system.
Right.
That's how they are. That's how they got their influence in. Who are the oil people?
Oh, J. Paul Getty
R.
family,
I think it starts with an R.
uh, Rockefeller.
Yes, the Rockefellers.
Yeah,
Okay, there's a second.
Rockefeller.
The
Then there
second.
was the guy with the trains, railroad. I think he was a Rockefeller too. Uh,
Buffett?
no.
No,
I
like
think he was a Rockefeller that did that owned railroads. I know they owned Standard Oil, which was a big oil company at one time or another. I don't know. Jane O'Malley. What are the 10 families?
we know the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. And
Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the
I'm
Vanderbilts. The
yeah,
Vanderbilts.
probably them. And probably
And
there's got to be some
that
royalty
they're
in there.
that's Anderson Cooper's family. His mother was Gloria Vanderbilt, the fashion designer.
Wow, Gloria.
Is his mother,
Yeah.
or was his mother. I don't think she's with us any longer. But they just about went broke, lost all their money. I think the other families helped them, or some of the other families helped them.
Oh.
I think, as I said before, there is a tour of the old time mansions down in Newport, Rhode Island, and it's just an area where all the big families had either lived there or had homes there, and I think the person who inherited the Vanderbilt home uh, couldn't afford it anymore, couldn't afford to keep it anymore, and think they gave it to the city as part of the tour.
Oh, wow.
Weddings are done there, a lot of other stuff. I mean, I would. I mean, what are you gonna do with a house that has 400 rooms, 600 bathrooms? You know, It's
I
hard
don't
enough
want
to
to
find a
clean
maid
it.
to come
I
in.
know.
Right. It's hard enough to find a maid to come in to do one bathroom, let alone 599 more.
Oh, that's funny. Right.
You know, I used to joke with people every once in a while that there were so many rooms, and in the course of a year, the queen could sleep in a different bedroom each night and not ever sleep in all of them.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
uh,
There were more.
and then it
Wow.
was weird. I mean, I still find it odd that she was the Queen of England and her husband Prince Philip. They slept in different rooms, and this isn't like Lucy and Ricky who slept in different beds. I understand that because my grandmother, my dad's mom, Nana and Papa, they slept in the same room, but they slept in different beds. That was just how it.
Did they have
How it was.
children?
Yeah,
How did they have children?
I have no idea. But then
That
again,
was weird.
my father, before he ended up in the hospital, my parents had separate bedrooms because when they moved into the house, uh, the last house they were living in, it had two bedrooms. And my dad, I guess, had never had his own bedroom as as a kid growing up, and decided that he wanted his own bedroom. Now I can only imagine that they must have had sleepovers. So, uh,
That's amazing. I guess when the kids move out,
but thank you.
oh, she's gonna hit you on the head with that bowl. I'm kidding.
No,
Dinner.
that's my dinner. The big old
Awesome.
bowl of fruit because that's what I asked for.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's too
But
hot. Too hot for anything else. I had Captain Crunch this morning because I wanted cereal.
that's awesome. Get some protein with that. But I know my in-laws. She has her own room. She has a room where she has her sewing machine set up and she can do her crafts. And then he has his own room now because Penny and Jesse are gone. And now they've moved to Idaho, so they've got another 4-bedroom ranch, but they each have their own room. They have one bedroom, but they each have their own hobby rooms, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, that would be great because Donna could have this as her craft room
Craft, yeah. How did your
and not.
craft show
Oh
How
God,
did the craft show go?
it was not good. I mean, they made
Did it rain?
they made $350. I think she said most of it was in the first hour of the show. Then nothing, and it was so hot down there that I mean I was useless. I mean I thought I was
No one
useless.
wants to shop.
But I went back to the hotel because I was
That's good.
it was too hot for me to be out. I don't do well in hot weather. I really don't.
Right.
We're supposed to do one this Saturday, but the weather is supposed to be over 100 degrees outside, so Donna canceled that one. Uh, uh, but yeah, I mean, it was nice in the sense that we got away. We spent the weekend down in Daytona Beach, right by the Speedway, and so I mean, it was nice. It was nice for that part of it, but you know, not every craft show you'll make $1 million. Sometimes you'll do really well. Sometimes you don't do really well. Sometimes it's it's the luck of the draw. Also, there's they were led to believe that it's a show that 2,500 people attend every time it's done. Uh, yeah, and you pay. I don't remember how much. Donna and Angela didn't have to pay to be there because they got scammed trying to figure out who they were supposed to pay, which got a hold of the right person. They didn't have to pay, so it didn't cost them anything to go down there. It didn't cost them anything for the hotel room. It didn't cost, I filled the gas tank, so they didn't lose, they didn't lose, they didn't lose that. But was it worth doing? No. And other people that she talked, the vendor on one side of us told her that it's normally really busy. Again, the same thing, 2,500 people. A friend of Angela's was down in Daytona Beach driving through and saw billboards promoting this sale. And so I mean, it's sad, sometimes. But then again, sometimes sometimes you go out and you take a chance, and it's a great day, and
Right.
then you sell $1,000. And
Oh, that's awesome.
some days you bring $1,000 worth of stuff with you, or $3,000 worth of stuff with you, and you don't sell
10%.
We brought plenty of stuff to open the booth with, and then Matt and Angela got down there just after the show started, and they, you know, they took me back to the hotel room because I had to get out of the heat. And then Matt totally used the pool at the hotel, but
we would only do craft shows like right before like Thanksgiving and Christmas, sometimes at Easter, but we never had good luck doing it during the summer. And we didn't make. Go ahead.
We found one in Connecticut, a couple miles away, called Field of Dreams. And yes, it was a farmer who just stopped growing on it, and it was like a kind of like a flea market. But everybody was there, and usually it was there wasn't very much to be there, and Donna usually did very well, and the same customers would come all the time looking to see what other stuff she had. Who's there? So it's like I said, sometimes you land on one, you pay not a whole lot of money to be there, and you don't make anything, and or you find the people that are running that particular one aren't people that you want to work with, and it's hit or miss, just like it is with every business.
Right.
Right.
It's just the economy right now is so bad. I can't believe. I love. Go ahead.
I joked about the limousine business. The only reason I made money in the limousine business was because I was in the absolute. I used to tell it this way: I made money in the limousine business because I was in the absolute wrong place at the absolute wrong time. Talking to the general manager of the busiest hotel in Waltham, 11 miles out of Boston, where most big corporations put up their traveling employees at this one particular hotel. And the general manager would call me and say, "I got this person coming in from this company, and give them whatever they need to build the hotel."
Wow.
And it was great. But my point is that sometimes it's the luck of the draw every time.
Right.
Donna crochets. Go to the Family Treasures Facebook page.
Family Treasures.
See
I love it.
Kind of white speckled chicken.
Oh, I love it. Okay, for sure.
Okay.
That's great.
This is a I forget what kind of. This is a Highland cow. Can you see it? Yeah. Well,
oh my gosh, that's awesome. That was a lot of work. Look at the hair; it's so cute. Oh my gosh!
I can't
say
who.
Donna.
I can't say who it was made for. I'm sure they're not watching, but it's a gift. It's a gift for someone.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah. So I mean, go to the Family Treasures page, take a look at all the stuff that people see there, It's all handmade and made crochet.
Sure.
And if you don't see what you're looking for, send them a message through through the page and order it. And they take orders. They take orders.
Your computer froze.
My computer froze.
There. Not anymore.
Okay, I gotta get a little bit of light in here. Getting a little bit too dark in here. Okay, yeah. So
Family Treasures page. I will look. Is that a
Family
Facebook group?
Treasures page. It's a Facebook page. It's not.
Okay.
There is a group, but it was supposed to be a page. So
Awesome.
yeah, I think if you land on the Family Treasures group, it tells you to go to the page. But I just tell people go to the page, and if you can't find it, message me. Anyone, if you can't find it, message me on Messenger, and I'll send you the link to the page.
Super.
And I'll continue. I'll continue to live the life of a retired whatever, and
A retired supportive husband.
yeah,
Oh, Family
I
Treasures.
like going a lot of times.
That's awesome. You see all the people and
Well, my favorite ones is I will go around to certain vendors that are there, and I'll just tell them flat out, like if they sell mugs or they sell what do you call them,
travel
tumblers,
tumblers.
or they sell T-shirts, and I'll just be blunt, and I'll just tell them I'm the only Trump supporter here, looking for the one booth that has the one thing that supports that is Trump. I
That's
almost
fun.
bought a tumbler that was a beautiful red, white, and blue flag on one side. The only problem is it had the name of a candidate running wherever they are on it, and I don't know the guy, so I didn't want to have. I mean, I could have just held it up this way, and all you would have saw was the red, white, and blue. But
That would be okay.
yeah,
That's funny.
I have enough Trump T-shirts. I have to find a Trump 2016 T-shirt. I have a 2020, and I have a 2020. I think I have a 2020. I gotta find a 2024, and I have to find a 2016. I don't have a 2016.
Wow, totally different subject, but did you hear
What?
anything about Hunter? Did he get charged with anything today? And if
He
he
was executed
does,
this afternoon.
what'd you say?
I said he was executed this afternoon.
Yeah, right. No. Well, I was seeing him. How come he can wear sunglasses in the courtroom? And so can Haley, or is that her name? This is
Because
sister-in-law.
probably because with the amount of that illegal substance that he did, his eyes are very sensitive to light.
Okay, I see.
But that's neither here nor there. I don't care if you have to wear glasses or
I
whatever.
just want no. I want to see him get.
I
Go
think
ahead.
it doesn't really matter what the outcome is in that case because I honestly believe before the November election, whether Joe is running or not, he's going to pardon his son and or his
I hope
entire.
he does.
He may not pardon his entire
Because
family, but he's going to pardon Hunter.
I hope he
And he's a
does.
fool.
Because
And
I
he's a fool.
want
And he's
to.
a fool if he doesn't.
I want to see the inmates get mad that are
Well, I
put
don't know.
away for something way less than that. We need a revolt. We need people to stand up and say, this two-tier justice system sucks.
I want the IRS to prove all the money that the Bidens took in that none of them paid taxes on. I want to see them lose that
Yeah.
money. I want to see them lose that money plus the penalties. And I don't really want it to go to the IRS because, again, the IRS is a front for the Fed. They collect your income tax. and they send
Right.
it to the Fed. They don't send it to the government; they send it to the Fed.
And then they send it to Ukraine. And
Well, no, no,
it's
that's government tax money where they got
so frustrating.
I mean that I don't really know personally. I don't believe the federal that anybody should be paying income tax to the federal government because the federal government didn't really help you get a job. And even if the Department of Education contributed to every school you went to, including the college or university that you graduated from, they didn't help you get the job. You went to school, you studied, you got a job, or you got a job. You went out, you looked for a job, you found a job. They didn't give you a job, they found you. You went out and found a job. They gave you a job if you went in the military or if you worked for the government. But I personally believe one of my biggest fears is that it doesn't matter, even if the Republicans control the House and the Senate. The first thing they're going to do right after they name their majority leader in the Senate and their speaker in the House, they're going to give themselves a raise.
Gosh, it's frustrating.
Because
You're right.
well, they're the only people that can give themselves a raise.
Right.
They approve their raise because, like I said the other day, I can't see anybody, even if they decided they were going to double the $174,000 a year to $300 and some odd $1,000 a year. No one's going to stand up and say, "Oh no, that's too much. We shouldn't get that much." They're going to agree. They're going to agree to it, and I believe that they're going to try to get themselves as close to $200,000 a year base pay. And to me, no, it's time we stand up and say no, absolutely not. George Washington wanted wealthy wealthy farm owners, or people who had wealth, because he
Right.
didn't want you dependent on getting a paycheck
Salary.
from
Right.
the government.
Correct.
And that's basically what we should do. They should find some nice buildings throughout Washington, D.C., buy them, renovate them, and make them dorms.
Right. For temporary living.
Make them dorms, and you split a room with four other. If you're a male, you share a room with three other males, and you have a kitchen and a bathroom. You may each have separate bedrooms in there. That I don't know. That depends on how elaborate you want to get. But basically, four of you live in one room with a bathroom and a kitchen.
Right.
And
do your job there
and you pay rent. You pay rent for that while you're there.
They've made themselves at least. We're not allowed to complain about this. Remember when we did? It wasn't we,
We're
but
allowed to.
obviously
We're
the
allowed to
people
complain.
said something about this during Barack Obama's regime.
Yeah.
And he said his rebuttal to that was, you didn't make that road. You didn't make that stop sign. You didn't make those. You got to work. You didn't make that building. You didn't do that. And I was like, oh my God, he is really talking down to us.
Yeah.
And what's funny is you look at Trump now and he's like, yeah, I did build that building. I even put my name on it.
This is why I look forward to seeing Joe Biden debate Trump, because I want to see in a moment or two of sanity when Biden remembers that Obama said, "You didn't do this, you didn't do that."
You didn't build that.
Thinking about like you talk to everyday Americans, you didn't build that road, you didn't build that building. Trump's going to look at him and go, matter of fact,
I did.
Matter of fact, not only did I build that building, I own the fucking building.
Right.
I hired a lot of people to work in that building. I gave people good paying jobs.
Yeah, ask Biden. What has Biden ever done? Has he done anything that you know
He
of?
graduated near the bottom of his law school
Lied about
class.
it.
He lied about that and said that he graduated top of his class. He lied about where he went. Uh, his only real, I don't know if he actually practiced law anywhere or ever tried a case before he became a senator.
Right.
He spent 40 something years in the Senate. I think he gave us he passed a crime bill or got it, or they debated it. I don't know if they, I don't remember if they passed it or not, and it didn't do any good.
Wow.
Uh, to me, he's living proof that term limits need to happen.
Yeah.
You know, Bernie Sanders is proof that term limits need to happen. Nancy Pelosi is living proof that she should no longer be in anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, if she, if the Democrats manage to steal the House in the 2024 election and
Mm.
they don't make her speaker, she ought to just leave. It's time to go.
Wow.
Maxine Waters, the same thing. She ought to go. Maxine Waters ought to be the day Maxine Waters is
A voice
no
in
longer
the
a
Senate.
no longer a senator or representative, whatever the hell she is. She should be prosecuted for the more than one time standing in front of the camera. I'm going to kill Donald Trump.
And oh God, yeah, and inciting violence, and
Right, right, right.
you need to go
She
after,
should
you need to hit them.
she should have been censured by the House or the Senate, whichever one she is. I can't remember. I think she's a representative, but she should have been brought up on charges and
Right.
probably booted out of the House for that. And they would expect the same thing to happen if a Republican did it. If a
Right.
if Margaret Taylor Greene stood up in front of the camera and said, "I'm going to go kill Joe Biden," same thing.
You
You
can't
know,
do that. Right.
it's like you don't have to like Joe Biden, but you have to respect that Joe Biden is the person with the title of President of the United States right now. You don't have to like anything that he does. You don't have to want him to come to your house for dinner. You don't want to go to his house for dinner. You don't want to be in his green screen office. Uh, you
Green
know,
screen.
but
Right.
but
You can say impeach, you can say
you can say
arrest, and
impeach.
she
You can say
does,
impeach. You can say
but
impeach.
these
But
other people are really they really push the envelope.
I
It's
keep
crazy.
hearing more and more and more these last few days, even from Democrat media sources, they do not believe that he is going to get the nomination from their party. They don't believe. Then I heard also yesterday on a couple of videos I watched, there's speculation that he may not even be invited to the convention.
That would be great. Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
well that would only tell me that they're gonna. From what I heard, but it doesn't seem to have been verified. It said he was going to win the nomination. About a month after he got the nomination, he was going to resign as the candidate and then just finish out his term as president and go away. Uh,
I hope.
but then it was he was gonna he was gonna resign as the candidate, endorse Gavin Newsom, governor of California, and and pledge all of his support. You know, uh,
Wow.
to make sure that Gavin won. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything because you know,
And Gavin Newsom.
most of the people that voted for Joe Biden were dead when they voted for him.
Right. And Newsom just raised the gas tax in California. Everyone has to pay 50 cents.
Yeah,
more per
because they
gallon.
got all these electric cars out there, and they got all these. They're sanctuary state, not just sanctuary cities. They're sanctuary state, and
How can their grid afford all of I mean, how can their
they
grid
can't.
handle all of those
They
electric
can't.
vehicles?
But I think that's what the people who advised Biden push electric cars understood. I mean, to me, it almost seems like they wanted America to go out and buy electric cars, knowing that the grid could not handle all of those cars charging at once, and it would
Right?
shut the grid down. Because if they wanted to be sure that the grid could have handled something like a bunch of a billion electric cars in this country, they should have done the work on the infrastructure all along. Back when I lived in California, Pacific Gas and Electric, one of the largest gas and electric companies on the West Coast, was floating a plan for electric vehicles. They were going to put a grate down the center of the middle lane of the highway.
Oh, wow.
Cars were going to be designed with this thing that dropped down and rode the grid while you were on the highway. So you would charge your battery while you were powering the car, or you wouldn't use battery power. Your car would just be powered because electricity was coming into it to run the engine, but you weren't burning up any battery.
Oh, wow.
The big three auto manufacturers were on board with whatever this thing that came down from the bottom of your car. They were all in line with it, and then all of a sudden, at the last minute, that plan got scrapped. Uh, Pacific Gas and Electric proved that windmill power didn't work because they found an excellent mountain to put up like 100 windmills. It didn't work, didn't generate any electricity because they were backwards. They weren't facing the wind, and they weren't facing the wind on purpose.
Oh, come on. That's so hey,
Then, one
there's
by one,
somebody who's posting comments. I don't see any of the comments. Do you see anything from David Bray? He's texting me. He's posting comments, and I guess we don't mean to ignore you. I really don't see it. I'm so sorry.
I see that he's
Eh,
watching. I see that he's
oh, okay. Hi, David.
watching, but I don't
Oh,
see
okay.
any comments in the live chat. So David, if you if uh,
Sorry.
you have to come to my profile, watch it on my profile, and then you'll be in the live chat uh, here on Facebook, or you have to watch on the Boogie with Bull YouTube channel, and you'll be in the live chat over there. But yeah, when it says you're watching, it means that you're on my profile watching, because I didn't send out any shares tonight because I wasn't sure how long uh, the broadcast was going to go. But when it says you're watching, that means that you're on my profile watching, but you're not in the live chat. And that's why I always was go. William Grant is watching. Bill Jr. is watching. Robin Brunson is watching.
Hi,
And I joke
Robin.
with people that I'm not embarrassing you by telling people that you're watching. I'm hoping you'll come into the live chat and be part of the conversation.
Get a camera. Yeah.
Well,
It's
no, no,
it's a
no, no,
lot of
no, no, no,
fun.
no, 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 no.
Oh, to
The experiment that I did the other night, where
oh,
I brought our biggest fans from the
Satan.
Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel to come. That was a mistake, and I set
We
myself up. I set myself up for that because I didn't know those people when I had the link posted. Now it's, if you want to come on, you ask me for a link, I'll send you a link.
awesome.
If you go off script, then you'll be you'll be blocked from
Cut the
future
cord.
broadcasts.
Yeah. Cut the
You know.
cord. That was
You know.
funny.
Anyway, let's see. We have done. It's 8:40, so we can. If there's anything else, we can do anything else in the last 20 minutes. Biden started in 1969, then became a senator in 1981.
Has he ever
Medical.
had any other jobs?
I
A
don't
paper
believe so.
route?
Well, that I don't know. I do know. I don't know if he was in the service. I don't believe he was. Uh, but he graduated. He did graduate law school. I don't know if he practiced privately. We'll see if I can find that. But his only real job was being a senator and then being the vice president, now being president. Like Bernie Sanders, the only job that Bernie Sanders has ever had is being a senator.
Bossing people around. That's what they do. Wow.
Then again,
Oh, you're
term limit
breaking up.
should be. I don't know what the term limit should be, but there should be term limits in the House, term limits in the Senate, and term limits as president. Because the way I understood the whole thing was created was you become a representative or a senator, you become somebody's vice president, they become president, you do 2 terms as vice president, and then you do 2 terms as president, and then you're done. Uh, I think I think being able to spend your entire life as a senator is counterproductive because when you're in your 70s and when you're in your 70s, like Bernie, I'm sure is, and that's the only job you've ever had, it's easy to get young people to vote for you, but the people that are responsible adults running the country or think they're running the country being adults, they're a lot younger than you. We don't need, if you're 70 years old, it's time to leave the Senate. Enjoy your retirement and spend time visiting your grandchildren and, Monday
Right.
night sleep in your bedroom, Tuesday night sleep in your wife's bedroom.
Dear God. That's weird. That's funny.
I don't know. I don't know.
I was trying to see. I wonder who writes his speeches. I want to know who writes
I
Biden's
don't know.
speeches.
I don't
Is
know.
it like from the local elementary school? Because it's so out of touch. It's ridiculous.
I I'm not sure. I do know who was Eisenhower's chief speechwriter. There's a guy named
Who?
Bob Keefe who owned the radio station that
Oh,
I
wow.
fell asleep at and got fired from.
Wow. Because Reagan had a really good one, and he did a beautiful tribute to D-Day, which is today. So we should give
Yep,
that some homage. That's why I wanted to promote that coffee cup today because it's talking about the Revolutionary War. But it's okay.
yep.
July 4th is coming. We can do it then. And
You can,
but
and
anyway,
we
he
will.
had this beautiful speech, and he had he just honored the vets, the people that fought, the people that were still alive. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And I'm like, how did we fall so far from excellency or normalcy, anything?
We
We're just
Joe Biden.
tolerating trash television, trash president, trash speeches,
Well,
trash prices.
I want to blame this whole thing on Joe Biden. I think that I've joked about it before. I think Joe Biden took Joe to Fantasy Island, and she bought him the president of the United States weekend fantasy, and then Joe didn't want to give it up.
Oh my
You
gosh.
know, but I don't know. Graduated law school in 1968. Well,
And became president.
and became president. Uh,
Wow.
so I mean, he did what a politician is supposed to do. I mean, he got his law degree. He became a senator. Served 2 years or 2 terms as vice president, and now he's president.
One-term
And
president.
I don't think he has to worry about running again. Well, if he does run, he will be defeated by Trump. So that means he could run again, but I don't think the Democrats will ever run him again.
And what do you think
Uh,
about that? Trump, he's boasting. He should. He's awesome. He is boasting about this is just too big to rig. He doesn't even have to campaign. These 34 indictments or charges, that did nothing but boost his. He didn't even have to
the
campaign.
the
He,
Trump Biden debate will be nothing more than President Trump giving President Biden as much time to speak on everything,
oh
and then
God,
maybe every once in a while wording a question in a way that he knows will upset Joe Biden. But
that's
really,
so.
it's like I just said. He won't have to say anything. They will ask the moderators will ask him a question. He will give the answer that you expect President Trump to give, while Joe Biden is kind of there going,
Uh, oh God. And when he gets
you know,
upset, he makes those little fists. Do you know who does that? Hitler did that. Hitler would get mad and he's giving
well,
speeches and making his fists.
well,
It looks ridiculous.
Hitler wasn't really, if it wasn't for the people that Hitler had running his campaign, the PR person, the propaganda ministry,
Right.
Goebbels
Right.
or Gary Goebbels, you know, those people decided that Hitler was going to win that election, you know, and he was a good speaker, he was a good speaker. He could excite a crowd, and they were loyal to him. But Biden is not Hitler. Biden cannot, Biden can't
He,
get more than six people to a
right.
Biden event. And what amazes me is there was one here in Florida. It was $250,000 a plate. Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself,
Did anyone go?
if I was a Democrat and I said to Donna, I'm going to spend $500,000 on a $250,000 dinner plate for you and one for me to
Better
go
be good food.
support Joe Biden, she'd go, wrong.
Wow.
Plus, all my money's pledged. Uh, my estate's already pledged to Donna and my grandchildren anyway. So,
That's good.
you know my grandsons and my granddaughter are going to inherit all of this this antique internet broadcasting equipment that will probably
Awesome.
go on display at the Smithsonian Institution next to the WKRP in Cincinnati set.
Oh, that's funny.
Uh, but oh God, wasn't Reagan the first to term "Make America Great Again"? I honestly don't know, and
He said
and to
that?
me, it's really not important because I honestly think if President Reagan was still alive today, he would have liked Trump as president, and an endorsement would have come from from Ronald Reagan, and that would
Right.
carry a lot in getting not only Republicans but maybe even getting Democrats to vote. I keep saying, it's going to come down to Democrats being in that booth with the curtain drawn, looking up at God and going, "What should I do?" And God's going to say, "You need to do what you think is right." And if I was God, it would be, "You need to do what you think is right, but you shouldn't vote for Joe Biden."
I love the picture in the 80s of Reagan and Trump when he was just a rising star. He was just
Yep.
he didn't even have his show yet. The
Well, The
Apprentice.
Apprentice.
He was
Yeah.
just building New York. He was building the skyline. And there's a picture of him and President Reagan and it's
I I know what the last sentence of his inaugural speech,
What
his,
was
his
it?
inauguration speech is gonna be. He's gonna walk down from the podium to Joe Biden, and he's gonna go, Mr. Biden, you're fired.
You're fired. I wish. Oh, it's funny. I know everyone keeps they're like texting me. I'm like, I'm nobody. I do a show with Dave. That's all. But they're texting me these things, and I'm like, oh, I bet the very first thing that Trump's going to do when he gets in office is he is going to get
Well,
revenge on all. And I'm thinking,
he
no,
he
he's
said
not.
he said
He's gonna.
a bunch of different first
He's
things that
for
he's gonna
us.
do, but
He'll
one of
thrill.
them one of them that I think America is going to hold him to is that promise of the largest deportation in history. And the
Right.
only reason we're going to hold him to it is because obviously the information on all of these illegals here, which Mayorkas says he doesn't have, he doesn't know. We don't know.
Right.
We brought him in here. We brought him in here. We shipped them off somewhere, and that's it.
We gave them money,
You know.
and there they are.
So,
That's
and you can't tell
scary.
me they gave them money. They gave them social security cards. They got them driver's licenses. They gave them a place to live.
What about the
All of that information has to be there. But I know what's going to come up in 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 immigration court is going to be all of these people going, President Trump wants to evict us and deport us. What about all of the illegal immigrants that came here under other presidents? What about the DACA kids? You know, the DACA kids who were, I guess, set aside as their own class by former presidents who said, we have to take care of them because they didn't have any say in coming here. So they're illegal. But my thing about that is you should be able to go into immigration and natural, should be able to contact customs and say, hey, I'm 21 now. I came here illegally. I went to school, I graduated school, I got a job, you know, got a family, you know, uh, and, give me a hearing and I should be able to prove that I'm able to be a citizen. But, this whole thing, and then even if you grab all these illegals and you deport them, what about the guy that murdered the girl in San Francisco who had been here, who been left 5 times and came back 5 times? And was a criminal while he was here, was a criminal before he left, wherever he was.
we just
Trump
need someone to
Trump
put
is
their
right.
foot
Trump is
down
right. Well, Trump
and say
appears
no
to be
more.
right when he
Go.
says, they emptied their prisons in these countries by sending them here.
Yep. They didn't have to. Oh my God, it's so bad. They don't have to feed and clothe them. They
Right.
don't even care if they fill out their sentence. Just go. Yeah, we just take trash. That's what we did,
Yeah.
and we settled for it. No
You
one
know,
fought.
and
No one fought
I'm
back.
I'm the first one to say, hey, if you live in another country and you want to come and experience the American dream, there is a right way to do it and do it legally.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather came with, I think there were 11 brothers and a stepsister who my great grandfather raised like she was his own.
That's
My
beautiful.
great grandmother was married before when she married my great grandfather and had a daughter. And from what I heard from everybody that I could find information about it within the family was he treated her like she was his own daughter. They all came from Prussia, Poland, Russia, whatever it was at the time, around 1905 when my grandfather was 5 years old. They came here the right way. They applied They applied for citizenship, and they came in through Ellis Island and did everything they had to do, and became became naturalized citizens, became citizens. Uh, and I respect anyone who wants to do that, but you got to come here the right way.
Right.
And the right way isn't necessarily all of these people coming in because we don't have a border and hoping they get arrested, and then hoping the process starts once they get once they get arrested, because capture and release is proof that it didn't work. Also, there was a I don't know if it was a law or a policy between Mexico and the United States. If someone came to Mexico, to the U.S. Mexican border, and sent with plans of emigrating into the United States, they had to apply before they left Mexico. None of these people did that. I'm assuming it was Biden who said they didn't have to do it anymore.
I can't stand the
And
situation. I can't stand it. They come
no,
here illegally. They get in trouble for coming here illegally. When at the same time, the jackass in the White House is saying, "Come, come, just come over."
right.
And I wasn't cussing. I'm just saying it's his
No,
party's
he should be
mascot.
proving to all these people around the world that obviously they don't want to come here illegally. And I'm sure Trump is saying it in his own words.
Yeah,
You want to come here and be an American?
fill out your papers.
I want to be the president. I want to be the president that signs
Right.
your citizenship. I want to do everything I can to legally get you from where you are into the United States, and I want to, if we have to, we will help you, help you for the first couple of years while you're here.
Right.
We'll make sure you get a job. We'll make sure you get a job when you're going to school. We'll make sure we will make sure you have a safe place to live while you're here. You
Right.
know, Take a productive member, a tax-paying member of society, just like everyone else. But we're not even going to ever be able to enforce any of that until that border wall is up and complete. And I mean, even going through the Indian reservations that Stephen Tolliver said, they can refuse, they can refuse,
Sorry.
they can refuse the wall. Well, no, it should be no. You can't refuse the wall, because if you refuse the wall, then our border isn't complete.
You fight them off, right?
You know,
That's crazy. Well, Dave, I should
No,
go.
well, from what I understand, you don't want to be caught on the tribal land, that the reservation that doesn't have any border security on it, because from what I understand, Indian justice, being an illegal immigrant on an
That's bad.
Indian reservation is worse than being an illegal immigrant in the United States, because the Indians have their own law.
I didn't know
You
that.
know,
That's actually a good thing. That's great.
yeah,
Well, at least
I think
the
I
Native Americans are
I thought
protecting
that
their
was
land.
something that Stephen Tolliver said one night when he was on, that they're you know they take care of their own land, they take care of their reservations, and Indian
Awesome.
justice, because it's a sovereign nation within the United States. Indian justice is worse.
Right.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if a state invoked Sharia law, how 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 that would deal with
The Native
illegal immigrants?
Americans. Oh my god.
Illegal immigrants. You would hope that it doesn't happen, because you'd probably be arrested and deported back to Iran and tried in Iran. And
It'd be sick.
but
Yeah, it'd
anyway,
be
it's
bad.
9 o'clock. I've held you long enough. You got to go have dinner with your folks, and put
Yeah,
Juju's
sure.
lessons for tomorrow
Yeah,
together.
she's
Don't forget,
still
tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, you, me, and Bill Buckler.
that'll be awesome.
and
We'll
it'll
talk
be
about Six Soft Targets, his
Six
latest
Soft
book.
Targets.
That's amazing.
This is this is novel. We will talk about and quote what I call the conservative patriot broadcasting Bible. The 2020 books, 2020 A Clear Vision for Our Future, 2020 A Clear Vision for America.
Awesome.
They are two hardbound books that come to you with a nice note from Bill. He's asking a $25 donation for the two 2020 books. He's asking a $20 donation for the Six Off Targets novel. Best way to do it is to message him on his Facebook profile and give him your address. He will send the books to you and then make a donation and he will send the books. He publishes them himself. He covers the cost of shipping, and he's a 88-year-old guy, a strong conservative, retired Marine captain. Come and get a history lesson. He usually is with us for 20 to 30 minutes. Last week he was here the entire broadcast.
That was awesome.
And,
I thought he was gone. I was so happy he came back, but he had to. It was Memorial Day. And then today being D-Day, hopefully he has a good story to tell us.
Probably will.
There's nothing good to talk about with V-Day except for the fact that America won. It was a victory, but there was so much death. It was sad.
Yep. So that's what people will find if they tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on my Facebook profile here on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, or if you watch on my X profile at Boogie WT Bull, you can watch there. There's no live chat on the X.
Not like it
on
works
the X
anyway.
link. So either go watch it on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and then tell me you want to come on the broadcast, or watch it here on the Dave Wilson profile and tell me you want to come on the broadcast. And anybody who's interested, if you watch and you want to come on one night or one morning, come on. Tell me you want to come on and come on. In the morning we drink coffee, we laugh, we talk about how terrible our president is, how bad our Congress is, how things will be better when we're liberated by President Trump in 2025, and you get to meet fun people. Jen's here whenever she can come on, usually Tuesday and Thursday nights. Hopefully, if I can steal her from Monday or Wednesday, she'll come on. Always Fridays. And Robert Angel Little, the author of Innocence Lost, the book about him growing up in Romania, going through the Romanian Revolution, and coming to the United States. We've had him on a couple of times to talk about it. He was going to join us tonight as a panel member, so I will I'll get a hold of him, and hopefully we'll get him on next Tuesday.
Awesome. That would be great.
Send me pictures of the cup, and I will.
Oh, for sure. We'll talk about it tomorrow if you want.
Just let me know. Let me know where. Give me the link to the website where people order it, and all the other mugs that you have that people can order.
I'm gonna put them all on eBay.
Put them all on eBay. Well,
yeah, the mugs are on.
You have to go to eBay and buy the Boogie with the Bull mug, soon to be on eBay. That's if you want a ceramic mug. Anyway, Jen, it's 9:05. It's time for you to do whatever, and almost time for you to go to bed.
Good to see you. Okay, guys.
Nice to
Thank you for watching.
All right, Jen. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Homeschooling mom. If you're thinking about homeschooling or you homeschool your children, Jen is a smart lady to talk to, and you should enjoy having her on the broadcast whenever we can have her on. And let's see, David Mars says, good night, David and Jen. Good to see you all again. Thank you, David. J. O'Malley said, great show as usual. Thank you. And good night, all. And don't forget, Jane is our fact checker. She's corrected us a few times this evening, and that's great. I'm not one to get upset if somebody watching or someone on the panel corrects me, because I don't know everything. I know a lot about a little bit, or a little bit about a lot. However you want to take that. And I'm glad that everybody watched. Let me just try one thing here just to see if it will give me an accurate number before we say goodbye. No, it still says 24 people watching. We'll wait. We'll see in a few minutes when it posts the podcast. It'll tell us how many people are watching. Actually, yesterday was Wednesday. So Wednesday when we were on with Ray, it said 24 for the first hour, and then all of a sudden jumped up to wherever it was. Just under 200 people watched yesterday morning. It's over 400 now. So our views are staying consistent. We appreciate everybody who watched. Dana Valley, thank you. Robin Brunson, thank you. Bill Jr., thank you. William Grant, you're now one broadcast ahead of Danny Campbell for who has watched the most. David Bray, I appreciate you watching too. But like I said, if it says on my screen that you're watching, that means you're on my profile and you are watching the broadcast. I will usually acknowledge that you're watching and hope that will get you to come into the live chat and be part of the broadcast, because it is more fun to be part of the live chat than it is to just sit and watch. But I understand that a lot of times during the day people can't have the volume up, so they watch, and they can't be in the live chat. But it is what it is, and that's what it is. So tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Red Friday morning Boogie with the Bull, Jen Woodruff, myself, and special guest Bill Muckler. We'll talk about everything, including the 2020 book, 6 soft targets. We'll tell you how to get them. We'll get some more commentary from Bill on what's going on and what he thinks we're leading to in the November election, and a lot of other good stuff. I'm sure he will tell us stories of his days in the Marines and give us his take on V-Day and a few other things. So don't miss out. That's 10 a.m. on my profile here on Facebook, a million other Facebook groups, and the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, and at Boogie WT Bull over there on Twitter, which doesn't have a live chat. Doesn't have live chat there. So if you are on X and you're watching and you want to be in a live chat, go to the Boogie with Bull YouTube channel and take part in the live chat there. Anyway, it's time to go. Because we took an extra half hour and we're overtime now. And at 9:10, the room turns into a pumpkin and I go to sleep. So double V for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. Again, thank you to everybody who watched. I did not share the broadcast because when I started, I wasn't sure when exactly Jen Woodruff would join me, and I couldn't pay attention to doing the broadcast and doing the live shares. So I will share from my profile as a podcast to the 28 places that we normally share it to on Facebook, and anybody is more than welcome to take it on Facebook and share it anywhere they want, or go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and share it anywhere other than Facebook. Anyways, double V to victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. Boogie with the Bull Thursday Night Live is a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. In the event that we do use something that is copyrighted and you hold the copyright, please let us know. We will apologize for doing so. 10 out of 10 times that we have violated somebody's copyright, it was covered by FCC rules and regulations under fair use, which allows us to take a video, use it in the broadcast the way it was intended to be used, not editing it in any way or talking negatively about it, but using it however it was meant to be used. And that's how we always do it, which is why copyright violation that Facebook gets for us never seem to get in enforced. Other than in Belarus and one other country, somewhere in Europe, uh, they they bleep the copyrighted portion out of the program, and then when everything is done, they put it back in. Anyway, I'm Dave Blooming. You're out. Double Beats for Victory. This Boogie Woogie broadcast is going to come to an end, and the fan is going to get turned up much faster because it's very warm in here. Catch you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. You know where to be and when to be there. Shoot goes up.